am Arthur Faram, investigative historian and geoglyphologist. Recently, academics have been discussing the age of the Sphinx. Through the power of geoglyphology, we've been able to knock back the age about 5,000 years. I believe the current advertised age is around 2,500 BC. If this is correct, then Dr. Schock, you're absolutely right. The Sphinx is much older than people think it is. Let's go to the computer and see if we can prove this. In 1974, Fred Windorf was exploring in the southern area of Egypt when he saw some artifacts sticking out of the sand near this area here. After several years of exploration, they determined that these artifacts and the population of the area was around 7,500 BC. This is one of the geoglyphs that Fred Windorf discovered at Nabta Playa. Now, this particular photograph is a reproduction of the original. This is what the geoglyph looks like from above. And as you can see, there's accommodations for two bearings, one there and one there. This one was 080 and this one was 357. But as hard as I would try, I could not find any monuments or other geoglyphs that met the protocols of geoglyphology that would establish endpoints for those radios. So then I remembered that there was a geoglyph long ago that I had flipped over to see if it would work, and sure enough it did. So I tried that with this one, and sure enough it worked also. The 080 radio became the 280 radio, and the 357 radio became the 003 radio. Now it should be noted that all radios in geoglyphs are true rather than magnetic. I've assigned these magnetic values after the endpoints were determined. You can't use magnetic because as the magnetic pole moves, these values will change over time. Using the true values, they always point to the place they pointed to thousands of years ago. Using the Nabta Playa geoglyph, the 280 radio pointed to an obscure geoglyph in West Africa that I named the Gulf of the Central geoglyph due to its location. The 003 radio points to the Sphinx, and this geoglyph that we found out here in Western Africa points also to the Sphinx. So now we have a complete circle that ties them all together. There's the Gulf of the Central geoglyph. Now this on top is a circular cement slab, as is that one and that one. The reason it looks so strange is because the cement on top has compressed the sand underneath it and preventing it from being blown out by the wind. This formation is a result of 9,500 years of erosion. Here's another example in Nevada, USA of the same thing. There's the Gulf of the Central geoglyph. As it looks like from above, there's the large cement circle there, with other circles there, and so forth. This radio coming from this here through the center goes to the Sphinx, and the line that comes between these two goes to Nabta Playa. It would be difficult to say that these weren't related, since both the geoglyphs, Nabta Playa and this one, point to the Sphinx, and Nabta Playa points to this geoglyph, and this geoglyph points to Nabta Playa. The Canary Islands is the midway point between Europe and the Americas, and it's also, in all the geoglyphs that I've done of the Celtic territories, was the southern tip of the Celtic territories. I might have said this is the center point between the Americas and Europe, It's not, it's just the southern point of the Celtic territory. This is the center point between Europe and Americas, as is this one, the Azores. In addition, the Azores is part of the myth about Atlantis. Halifax, Nova Scotia is the southern boundary of the Viking territory as designated by the Denmark-Norway alliance in 1000 AD, after the Vikings were kicked out of Norway for refusing to become Catholics. Newport, Rhode Island is the most important of all of them, as you will see, because geoglyphs all over the world point to the Newport, Rhode Island location. There's the radials of the Gulf of Central geoglyph. There you have Newport, Rhode Island, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Iceland, Azores, Sphinx, and the Platte. There's a volcano pointed to by the Gulf of Central geoglyph, and as usual, it's right on target as far as where it was pointing to. These extensions are usually right on or within a few hundred feet. It just shows how accurate they were. And that's 9,500 years ago. There's another volcano pointed to in Iceland. Now this is Halifax, Nova Scotia, and this here is a star fort. All the star forts you see are also geoglyphs used by the people that built them. If you extend these angles here, you'll find that it will designate a territory that was meant to be designated by the person that built the fort. These locations were used over and over for thousands of years, so the structure you see there today may or may not be the one that was there thousands of years ago. There's the tower that was built on Newport, Rhode Island to commemorate its importance. It was built around 1500. Here's a image showing all the places that point to Newport. I'm sure there's more, but these are the ones I've located. This one here comes from the Chinese pyramids. There's several Chinese pyramids that point to Newport. This one comes from the Tenitikali Iceland geoglyph. This is the geoglyph that the Denmark-Norway alliance put there to designate the Viking territory that they gave to them. Here's the Gulf of Central geoglyph, Coral, Peru geoglyph, Mexico City geoglyph, El Paso, Texas geoglyph, which I believe is at Aztec, and Inspiration Peak geoglyph. Now, Inspiration Peak and Newport Tower work together to describe what become the United States. I hope this gives you something to think about, and I hope you'll buy my book that just came out. I hope you'll search by author rather than title, because there's a lot of books that have this similar title, and it'll be difficult to find by the name of the book. I hope this gives you something to think about, and until next time.